the scope of human experiences. The future of technology will depend on how people use it, as these are qualifying experiences that they can also share with other people, thereby integrating technology into their daily lives. Technology is primarily a matter of a choice. We employ it for our own purposes. Technology, however, is ultimately what makes us incomparably better off because it is alleviate the shortcoming of human experiences rather than completely replacing it. So, technology helps people human experiences by making life easier, faster, and more connected. However, the future of technology depends on how people choose to use it. When used wisely, technology becomes part of our daily lives and allow us to share meaningful experiences with others. Pero sama sa tanang butang, na advantage o disadvantage nga epekto ang technology. It can connect it can connect us to people who are far away. Pero usahay makalimtan nato ang mga tao nga nara sa atong duol. For example sa kanang ah, advantage sa technology is sa hospital. So technology save lives. Pero ang disadvantage jud ani is marapod siya battlefield tungod sa kalisod ug ka-complicated sa situation. Di ba sa hospital magamit ang technology about sa kanang like na mga sakit pero complicated gyapon siya kay kanang sini ah, basta ka ng paggamit sa technology. So, technology is a matter of choice. Kita ang nagbuot kung saan paggamit ani. So, importante nga masabtan ang technology na does not replace humanity, kundi rather helps improve our condition as humans. In the end, technology make us better off because it helps reduce human limitations while still allowing us to remain human. Human and society. Majority of the time, the human species coexist in basic hunter-gatherer societies. A modern industrial culture has just emerged in the last 200 years, while agrarian societies did not make significant technological advances until fewer than 5,000 years ago. The industrial civilizations of today is quickly evolving into a global information society. Is this the societal development a step in the right direction? There has always been debates on these issues, and at the moment it feels more heated than ever. The quality of life in contemporary society is one of the topic under discussion at this time. Pessimists doubt that life is getting worse, whereas progress optimists believe that we live better than previous generation. So, for the mo for most of human history, people live as hunter-gatherers. So later shifting to agrarian societies, and only very recently, about the last 200 years, entered the industrial age. So today, that industrial civilizations is rapidly transforming into a global information society. So, this fast change raises an important question. So, daghan kayo nag-debate ani nga issue karon tungod kay mas paspas ng social transformations kaysa sa una. Mas aware na ta sa mga desisyon sa modern society, especially sa epekto sa technology sa atong adlaw-adlaw nga panginabuhi. So, para sa mga pessimist, they believe nga ang kalidad sa kinabuhi nagkagrabe or nagka-stress, mas isolated ug mas dependent sa technology. So, while ang progress sa optimist na mansab nagtuo nga mas nindot ang kinabuhi karon kumpara sa una tungod sa better healthcare, education, o communication. Technology and humanity, a positive side. According to an old proverb, necessity is the mother of invention, meaning since each invention is motivated by the need for improvement and innovations, necessities often lead to invention. Many of the secular needs, such as food, shelter, and clothing, and the instrumental aspects of the human conditions as well standards of living, life expectancy, educational attainment, care, war, and nature of work, communication, and leisure can be attributed in large part to technological change. Technology has a wide range of direct and indirect effects on various facets of social and personal life, including governing entertainment, interpersonal connections, and our conceptions of morality, mind, matter, and human nature. As technology develops, it continually supports the qualities of every circumstance. The era of automation will be the era of do-it-yourself. So necessity is the mother of invention. So means nga ang uh, panginahanglan mao gyud ang hinungdan maong nganong ang tao naghimo og technology. Kada problema nga atong matubang, technology ang atong tubag aron mas sayon, mas paspas og mas kanang epektibo bitaw nga para sa atong kinabuhi. So everyday kanang we see how technology affects our daily lives. Kanang daghang aspect sa human conditions like population growth, life expectancy, educations, communications, healthcare, and even work na usab tungod sa technological advancement. So tungod sa technology, mas taas ang kinabuhi, mas sayon ang pagkaton ug mas lapad ang connection sa mga tao bisan layo pa sila. So technology also influences how we think, how we relate to others, and how we understand ourselves as human. Sa kanang social media, dali ta makakonek sa hospital. Technology save lives sa school naman sab become more accessible. Although na siya disadvantage, the positive impact is very clear. So the advancement of technology give a direction to human history. So while nagdevelop ang technology, it also helps sa pag-improve sa kalidad sa atong kinabuhi. Sa panahon karon, especially sa era, mas independent na ang mga tao. The idea of do it yourself means ang tao mismo makabuhat, makakaton ug makasolve sa ilang problema gamit ang technology. The positive view. So number one ani is material standard of living. Many advancements in modern society are based on the notion that things are becoming better. One is the unmatched rise in the material level of living. The typical citizens now enjoy a better standard of living than kings and hundreds of years ago. So ang pangkaduha is ultimately death is reduced. So another trend that stands out is the significant decrease in unwanted premature death, including those caused by medical illnesses and accidents. The prevalence of societal illnesses like uh, poverty, inequality, ignorance, and operations has declined. So more and Simmons 2000 article, it's getting better all the time. It is a more current expressions of this viewpoint. So ang pangkatulo is improvement in uh, evolutionary. Ang pangatulo is improvement in evolutionary view. So this perspective on development is frequently a component of an evolutionary viewpoint in which society is viewed as a tool for humans that is gradually improved. So this concept was developed in the 18th century during the Enlightenment and is still relevant today. This view includes the notions that society may advance through engineering, which serves as the ideological cornerstone of numerous significant modern institutions, so including the welfare state and development aid organizations. So its roots can be found in the social indicators research publications. So ang pangkaapat ani is reduce suffering. So this is a classic religious perspective that breaks the understanding that life is improving by viewing it as a period of penance before paradise in the afterlife. So, ang pagkauna is material standard of living. So, one positive view of societal development is that life is getting better over time. So, sa karon, the material standards of living is much higher kaysa sa una. So, ang ordinaryong tao karon kay kanang mas comfortable bitaw sila sa kanang mas comfortable pa ang kinabuhi kaysa sa mga hari nga hundreds years ago kay sa karon naatay electricity, clean water, modern housing og transportations og technology. Sumatong sa pinakauna. Ang pagkaduha ang decline of social problems. So, ang pangkaduha is ultimately death is reduced. So, over time, daghang societal problems ang niminos or such as extreme poverty, ignorance, oppressions, and inequality. Although wala pa ni nawala totally, pero mas daghan na ang opportunities o kanang support systems. So, compared sa una. So, this idea is supported by Moore and Simon 2000. In their article, it is getting better all the time, which emphasize nga overall the world is improving despite challenges. So, pangkatulo ani is improvement in evolutionary view. So, another explanation is the evolutionary view where society is seen as a human-made tool nga hinay-hinay gi-improve pinaagi sa time. So this idea started during the Enlightenment period in 18th century. The belief is that through planning and social engineering, so society can be made better. So mao ni ang foundation sa mga institutions sama sa welfare state, public educations, uh, healthcare, healthcare systems, o development aid programs. In short, uh, humans can design solutions to improve society. So, ang pangkaapat ani is reduce suffering. So, from the religious point of view, life on earth is seen as a time of hardship before paradise in afterlife. However, this perspective still supports societal development because people believe they can reduce suffering by making the world better. So, even if naay ups and downs, the general directions is toward less pain, suffering, and more compassion. The negative view, potentials and issues frequently coexist. Issues can be turned into opportunities. The universe's elements have two sides, a creative side and destructive side. Technology become an increasingly part of society. Consequently, we may lack the desire to consider our actions carefully. We have become so damaged by technology that we are unable to even find time to spend with close friends. The gifts of science and technology have been purposefully misused over time by the wealthy and powerful. The misuse of science and technology is a result of human greed, self interest, lack of planning, and mafia. So, ang pinakaunaan is contemporary social problem. Worrying over current societal issues is frequently the driving force behind the statement, life is getting worse. Deviant behavior include crime, drug use, and school rejections is one of these issues. This viewpoint is most recently expressed in Easterbrook's 2003 article, The Progress Paradox. So sa negative view, technology and society always have two sides. Makatabang siya, pinakauna makatabang siya, ang pagkaduha is makadaot siya. So, while technology make life faster and more convenient, daghan pud ang mga problems nga atong giatubang karon. So, technology is now a big part of our daily lives. Because of this, nahimo na tag impatient. Kung dugay ang kung dugay lang malud ang balita or dugay mo reply ang email, masuko dayon ta. So gusto ta tanan instant reply, instant service, instant connections. So tungod ani, usahay wala na ta kahuna-huna sa atong actions og epekto niini sa uban. So another serious problems is social disconnections. Bisan naara ta sa same city, mag-chat ra gyapon ta instead na nga makikita sa personal. So, para sa uban, mas efficient kuno pero dili gyud mapulihan sa online chat ang face-to-face communication. So, resulta ani nagkawala ang quality time with family and close friends. Ug mas nag-inusara ang mga tao bisag connected online. So, daghan negative effects sa technology. Unta na stop kung naalang sakto nga plano og responsibility or responsible nga paggamit ani. So, pero tungod sa kakulangon sa foresight or moral responsibility, mas nidaghan ang problema. So, ang pinakauna ani is ang contemporary social problems. So, daghan ang moingon nga life is getting worst. So, tungod sa present social problems, usa ani ang crime, drug abuse ug school dropout nga nagpakita sa moral ug social decline. So, naapod social conflicts, so labor disputes, ethnic issues ug political terrorisms. So, nga naguba sa peace ug quality of life sa society. Kining mga problema di lang tungod sa technology kundi tungod kung saan pag-use ani sa usa ka tawo. So ang pangkaduha ni is society drifting away from human nature. So because society has changed significantly while human nature has not. So this perspective of decline is frequently included in the notions that society is moving away from human nature. The notion that life is getting worse is consistent with a long story of social critique and Eminus prophecies. So according to this perspective, paradise is gone and unlikely to return. So society today changes very fast, but human nature remains mostly the same. So people still need connection, purpose, empathy, and meaning. Because of this mismatch, many feel that life is getting worse, not better. From this perspective, modern society is drifting away from what makes us human. The different conclusions for different situations. So, although there are numerous plausible explanations for why a highly developed society can collapse, only a small subset of this answer is likely to be able to explain an endless of cycle of collapse and regenerations. A cycle couldn't be dependent on a variable that an advanced civilizations would have a realistic chance of overcoming. The suggested cause of collapse could not possibly be as opponent as the reason for the extension of human species. The reason is the capacity for analysis, invention, deduction, and formulations. So today we can argue that technology is the culminations of all instrumentally valuable cultural informations. So, um, so sa different conclusions for different situations, so dili tanan rason sa collapse sa usa ka advanced nga society kay mo explain sa endless nga cycle of rise and fall. So only a few causes are strong enough to uh, ano ni uh, to make a society fall repeatedly. So pero uh, if the cause is something nga nga kaya sa tao i-solve, so like temporary economic problems or political conflicts, dili siya enough para sa perpetual nga cycle. So, ang rason, human are very resourceful. We can analyze, so invent and solve problems. So, ang technology baya karon is the peak of all a useful cultural knowledge. So, it gives us tools and solutions to avoid collapse if we act wisely. So, not every crisis can make humans go extinct or force societies to collapse forever. So, because we have knowledge and creativity to overcome the challenges. So, relation of technology with humanity. When we discuss how technology and humanity interact, it is clear that we must deal with the interactions of a number of very complicated phenomena, including technology, science, society, and universal legal systems. As part of it, as part of its explorations and advancements, so humanity has been able to overcome the limitations of nature thanks to a variety of abundant energy sources, including coal, petroleum, electricity, and others. All, all of us facilitated the development of quick forms of transportation, which has in turn made the world a small interconnected community. So, sa relations of technology with humanity naman, when we look the relation of technology with humanity, klaro nga dako kayo ang impact sa technology sa atong kinabuhi. Through through science and innovations, so human have been able to overcome natural limitations like using coal, petroleum, and electricity to power almost everything around us. So tungod ani naka-develop ta og fast nga transportation which makes the world interconnected. So this connectivity allows people from different countries to communicate, trade, and share ideas faster than ever before. Pero, with all these benefits, kinahanglan pod nato or kinahanglan nato i-consider ang special and legal system globally kay ang technology ay kay ang technology can also bring challenges like environmental issues or inequality.
So, hi guys, my name is Christian James Cotiango and I am the second reporter of Chapter 6, Lesson 2. So, my topic is the continuation of why the future does not need us. So, first is the future of humanity. How was the 20th century different? The technologies behind nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons of mass destruction were undoubtedly potent weapons with a high risk. However, developing nuclear weapons requires at least temporarily access to both uncommon, in fact, practically unobtainable raw materials and extremely sensitive information. Additionally, biological and chemical weapons program tended to call for extensive work. The genetic, nanotechnological, and robotic technologies of the 21st century are so potent that they have the power to cause enormous damage and abuses. These mishaps are the most hazardous for the first use. These mishaps are most hazardous for first use because they won't need big facilities or expensive raw materials, and the utilization of them will only be possible with knowledge. Therefore, we have the potential for both weapons of mass destruction and knowledge and technologies that enable them, with the power of self-replication greatly enhancing the destructiveness. Then the scenario above describes two potential futures for humanity. One is stagnation at or near the present status quo, and the other is growth followed by a permanent plateau. So, the future humanity is a new tech like genetics, nanotech, and robotics. Is, kani siya is mga powerful kaayo, like pwede makatabang or makadaotpod if misused. And dili na kinahanglan nga mga mahal nga materials like knowledge ra gyud ang kailangan. That's why tech is exciting but scary at the same time. Second is static view. So the static viewpoint is absurd. It would imply that even in a time of extremely rapid change, we have only just reached the pinnacle of the human experience. The static viewpoint would likewise entail a significant reversal of many trends. First, the world's economy will be 7 times richer than it is now in 2050 if it grows at the same rate as it has over the last 50 years. Second is in 2050, the world's population is expected to reach over 9 billion, which will result in a sharp increase in average wealth. And third is the world would also be nearly 50 times richer by 21 than it is today. The world's current wealth may then be equal to that of a single small nation. Then the time it takes the global economy to double throughout human history has drastically decreased on various occasions, including the timing of the Industrial Revolution and the move from agriculture to industry. If such transformation takes place in this century, the global economy may be many orders of magnitude larger by its conclusion. Another reason for giving the static view a low probability is that we may anticipate a number of specific technical developments that will endow people with significant new abilities. Four is virtual reality environments will make up a larger portion of our experiences. The capabilities of recording surveillance, biometric, and data mining technologies will advance, making it gradually possible to manipulate data on people's whereabouts, interactions with others, activities, and internal process. So, for five is potential genetics. Technologies would allow us to directly alter our biology through a more profound intervention than changes in diet or education. Healthy lifespan could be significantly increased if we can manipulate the mechanism that leads to human senescence. A person with the means of a 20-year-old could have a life expectancy of almost 1,000 years. If science could create safe and reliable technologies for regulating the brain circuitry responsible for subjective well being, the ancient but largely fruitless quest for happiness may succeed. Drug and other neurotechnologies may eventually make it possible for users to change their personalities, enhance their memories, or control their character traits, energies, love attachment, and moral character. The kind of people they want to be. Our intellectual life might be deeper with cognitive improvements. And nanotechnology had a wide range of effects on computers, medicine, and industry. 8. Intelligence is an additional potential revolutionary technology. Number 9 is prediction markets may enhance human groups' capacity to predict future changes, and other institutional or technology advancement may pave the way for novel human organizational strategies that result in more successful institutional innovations. It is difficult to forecast how this and other technology advances will affect how people live their lives, but it seems safe to assume that they will have this kind of effects. Those who doubt that advances like those mentioned above will take the place should reflect on whether their doubts concerns actual feasibility or are only concerns with timelines. The development of some of these technologies will be challenging. Does this make us believe they won't be ever be developed? Not even 50 years from now? 200 years, 10,000 years? Language, agriculture, and industrial revolution are examples of historical developments that could be considered to have consciously altered the human state. There are at least 1,000 times as many of us today, and with a 67 average life expectancy, we may be able to outlive our Pleistocene forebears by 3 times. So static view is like idea nga wala pay like ang idea nga wala na progress is unrealistic. Like history shows nga growth keeps accelerating economy, population, and innovation. Like kini sila is dili mohunong. So the future is about to change, not staying the same. So next is prediction of artificial intelligence. So good 1965 the concept of a technological singularity that is directly related to AI and stated, let the definition of an ultra-intelligent computer be one that can far exceed the intellectual activity of any man, however clever. Since the design of machines is one of these intellectual activities, an ultra-intelligent machine could design even better machines. This would undoubtedly cause an intelligence explosion, leaving human intelligence far behind. Therefore, um, the first ultra intelligent machine is the last invention that man will ever need to make. It is more likely than not that an ultra intelligent machine will be constructed within the 20th century. So, this prediction of artificial intelligence AI might become the humans someday. Like, this AI might become smarter than human someday in the future. Once machines can design better machines, progress will go crazy fast that will likely could change everything we know about humanity. So next is the coming technological singularity and Vinci I don't know, developed the concept and modified goods forecast and timing. Within 30 years, technology will allow us to develop superhuman intelligence. The human age will come to an end shortly after that. So the coming technological singularity is when the machines become super intelligent. After that, life could change in ways we can't even imagine right now. It could be the biggest turning point in human history. So, technology and its usability. The future of technology will be defined by its simplicity, usability, and relevance to demand of the future. Since 1990, the technology has advanced to the point where what formerly worked may now seem outdated. New technologies emerge every year, and it is up to the users to grasp them and learn how to apply them to their daily life. Technology has revolutionized how we communicate, travel, and socialize. It also makes learning easier, has altered how we live, and has created a wide range of opportunities. For those who are eager to learn how to use it and make the most of it, future technology will open up additional options. And technology is good and has the potential to transform our society, but how we utilize it will determine whether it is advantageous or not. Future technologies must be designed to be user friendly and to benefit people and society. Future technology must be used by society with noble intentions. In designing and utilizing upcoming technology, humans possess a special capacity for picturing the unthinkable and coming up with novel ideas. It is this ability that will define the kind of technology that will be used in the future. So, technology and its usability. Future tech should be simple, useful, and user-friendly. If you know how to use it, dayan kayong opportunities ang ma-open, like technology is good, but how we use it matters the most. So this is all, and thank you for listening.